Hey guys, I'm going to show you how to organize and use a binder. Here is an example of a binder. It's a very simple one. It doesn't have a zipper that zips it closed. I do encourage you to get one that does zip if you can. A binder, when you open it up, often inside there are some slots for pencils and pens. I encourage you to keep your pencils and pens there, especially if you have a zipper binder, because that way they won't disappear, quote unquote. They don't actually disappear, they just get lost. But please try to keep track of your pencils. So in your binder, you will find these different tabs. Each of these tabs is kind of like a duotang in a sense. So this binder is going to replace your duotang. You have one tab here. It's kind of like the cover. And it says ELA. So this is ELA. So everything that's behind it should be the subject ELA. Notice that our assignments, we wrote in the top corner, the date and our name and ELA. The name is so that we can hand back the assignments. Us teachers can hand back the correct assignment to the correct person. But the subject is so that you can then put it back in your binder. And the date is so that you put back in the binder the right order. The reason why we want to keep it ordered and in the right subject is so that then later, maybe you want to do some studying for a quiz or a test, you'd be able to take your binder, open up, and you know that the test or quiz is probably only on the previous little bit, not maybe the whole year. So you have the assignments already there that are together, and you can go through those and study. Another reason might be maybe a teacher makes a mistake and forgets to enter your mark into PowerSchool, and later on you go in and you find, oh, there's something that says I'm missing an assignment. You go into your binder and you find it, and oh, I do have that. Now, we had that student, the fake student William, also known as Bill Smith. Maybe he's gotten some assignments handed back to him, or he found them in his mail slot. These assignments here are two of them. What's he going to do? He's going to notice that it's his name. Make sure it's yours. If it's not, then hand it to the person whose it is. And then you're going to look for the subject. So this first one here, I've got one that says science. So William is going to open his binder. Then he's going to look for the science tab, which is this blue one down here. It says science. He's going to flip that open. Now he's in science. There's no assignments there right now. If there were some assignments, he'd look at the date and he'd see January 3rd here, and he'd make sure he put his January 3rd in between the other dates. So the December ones would be to the left, and maybe there's some February assignments that he's working on would go behind. So you open your binder and stick the paper in. There's a couple ways to open your binder. You can push these tabs. It opens, push them together, it closes. Other binders, you just go like that. Next assignment, there is one that is ELA. So, looking for ELA. It's this red tab. I'm gonna flip it back. Oh, there is an assignment in here already. It says December 18th, so he needs to compare January 8th. January happens after December. So flip and make sure it's after it, like it's later on in a book that you're reading or something like that. So now all the assignments will go from the beginning of the year, being right past the tab, and it'll then get to December, January, the next assignments would be February, March, and then it's into the next subject. So we organize by subject and then by date. That way we can go back and find some things. One small thing I should mention, your classroom teacher will tell you how they want you to organize these tabs. In my class, I'm going to want you to have ELA as your red one, then health, then social, then science, and then orange will be used later on in the year. When I'm working on a new assignment, I often don't actually put the page in my binder. I will work on the assignment on my desk, and when the teacher says to put your supplies away, I quickly grab my binder. I think, okay, this is ELA, let's say. Open it up, and my most recent assignments will most likely be just at the end of the ELA section, right before my next section, which is health. And I'll open it up and put it there. Your classrooms probably have a place for loose leaf, but what I like to do is try to keep about 10 pieces of paper at the front of my binder or at the back so that I always have some paper that I can grab when I'm working on an assignment. So I'd open up my binder, pop out one piece of paper or two if I need to, and then I'd start working and then put it away. Those are just some extra little tips.